Hello everybody and welcome to my video on why Smite is an underrated game. I would like to preface this by saying that I love this game and I have personally sunk so much money into this game, like an unhealthy amount of money. Right? I mean, what's a second mortgage on the house when you got that sweet tier 5 health skin, right? On to the more important question, why is Smite underrated? Smite is underrated for a multitude of reasons, but today we're only going to cover one reason, and that's how Smite treats its player base. I may go in depth in future videos on different issues and why Smite needs to work on different things, but for now we're just going to be covering how it treats its player base, new and old. Okay, reason number one, the current player base hates new players. You might be saying to yourself, I don't hate new players, but shut up, okay, and hear me out, because how many times have you been in a match and this happened to you?
What relic are you getting, Cerberus? You got fucking TP! I will get shelled. You know what? If we're playing like this, I'm getting mad.
Minions have spawned.
Bruh.
Never forget your.
And you know what you do immediately after that match ends? And you know what? That person that you reported for feeding who bought boots as his 4th item and no relics and went 120-2, he was probably new. Smite, as it stands now, just isn't made for new players. When you start the game, you get thrown into an arena match, where you're forced to start as Neath with auto abilities and auto buy enabled. You don't get a say in that whatsoever. The tutorial has set auto buy auto enable. Now at no point during the tutorial does it ever have you disable these abilities, allowing you to see how you may want to upgrade your abilities or what items you may want to buy. This may not necessarily be a bad thing right away, but the problem comes later on, right? So, you know, you join your arena match, you get all your items and all your abilities locked in, and the game starts throwing paragraphs of text at you and expects you to read it like that one college professor with tenure that thinks that students don't have a life outside of his class. But let's fast forward to after you completed the tutorial. Now you get to play some Smite. But guess what? You can't. Because while you, as the new player, might have cleared the tutorial, the game decides that you don't get to play it until you hit level 5. But it's not going to teach you anything new between 1 and 5. Sure, the game will rush to pitch you against bots for your first couple of matches until you get to level 5, with only putting people on your team that are also in that same position as you. So you play all your arena matches and you finally hit level 5 and you're ready to play the game. Now you have access to real game modes like Conquest and Joust that are completely different than Arena because they have goals and objectives, which now that I'm saying it probably triggered everybody that plays Arena. Because they take their game mode way too seriously. Anyway, so you hit level 5 and you're ready to play these other modes, which are nothing like Arena and the game hasn't taught you a single thing about. Now you're forced into a position to make a lot of mistakes, like these. Ooh, that's a Thanatos. He used his sights on my clone, so yeah. Wow.
Two for one.
Ah, dang it. I thought I heard him like out.
You killed someone. Did somebody report that guy? Double the kills, double the bills. You got Moxie, kid. I'll give you that one.
Did they really both hit my clone? But while the problems are clear, the solutions are a little trickier to figure out. As much as you want to blame the tutorial, it's not entirely the tutorial's fault. And here's why. Think of Smite like a game of chess, right? You know, and I don't mean you need strategy to play Smite because you can just do things like this.
Eternal darkness and grace.
What I mean is, think about how you or people you know learn how to play chess. Sure, you could read the rules or practice against a computer, but nobody wants to do that, right? So you force your friend to teach you how to play until you get the hang of it after losing a bunch of matches to your friend. But now this problem is present in most MOBAs, right? Because these games as a whole just are known to turn people away. They're not your Call of Duties, your first person shooters, your battle royales. They're not Fortnite or Apex. The way these games are structured is extremely difficult for the game to be able to teach you how to play without throwing paragraphs of dialogue at you, to be able to get you to read what every item and every passive might do, or different god abilities, or what combos you can pull. I mean, what are you going to do? Read a paragraph of instructions on how to play the game and come up with unique builds and strategies, when once again you can just do things like this. Let's try this again. Smite's problems don't only lie on new players, it also has a problem with keeping people that have gone through the process of sticking around do shit like this. Would you still get XP? That's the real question. Wait, my dude's a rap!
You killed someone.
I'm dead. Oh, I didn't take the last shot! Or this. Alright, here we go. It's fucking showtime. Or fucking this. Now, if you want an in-depth breakdown of just how Smite treats its new players, its seasoned players, and even its employees, you can go look at Punk Duck's video on how to Smite, right? And you can really get an idea of how they treat somebody who genuinely loved the game and is no longer playing it because of the things they had to go through. Even with all that said, this game is still a joy to play. If you can get past all these things, I think it's a game that a lot of people would really enjoy. It might push, and it might even push Smite to improve on their platform if they start getting a higher player base, or maybe people from different platforms with different ideas. But until then, I'll just have to keep my fingers crossed and hope I don't run into this shit again.
Put you in. Before the root of you, would you stand?